Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Game Over Calgary, and I chose the wrong screen to come to. I'm hyping you up to think that I have a guest today. But nah, just me here. Conrad Krausert on Game Over Calgary as a nervy 40 minutes of play come to an end with the Calgary Flames scoring 3 goals in the third and bringing home a 5-2 win. Well, let's just say the Flames were 20 minutes away from potentially seeing their playoff hopes expire, but good third period effort and some contributions from a couple of guys who have been red hot keep the Flames season alive. Again, welcome to Game Over Calgary. See a few people in chat already. Breathing a collective sigh of relief on this Sunday. Before we go through the game that was, let's just get these ads rolled through as quickly as we can. Shift into hyperdrive and get ready for some fun with your news source for all the biggest stories in hockey. Bring a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecois flavor. Hyperdrive Hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, the biggest stories from the hockey world and beyond, and a damn fun atmosphere that'll drive debate, make you think, and even more. Join Max Fano, Daphne Melbuff, and Kevin Larmé when they return for your fill on news from around the hockey world and more. Watch on YouTube at the Game Over Network home channel, or subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or if you use another podcatcher, I'm sure you can catch it there too. Head on to our website, thegameovernetwork.com, for more on this show. And oh boy, was this a fun one, but also a nervy one for me as a Flames fan, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of Flames Nation about that one. But let's get into the review, shall we? For those of you who might have tuned in only for the last 30 minutes and thought the Flames dominated. No, they didn't turn it on until about, let's call it 15 minutes through the first period, and before that, we'll call it halfway through because there was the weaker goal. But anyways, opening the scoring in this one was actually the Sharks, and it was a former Flame getting on the scoreboard. He didn't play in the previous matchup between these two teams, but Tyler Toffoli making a difference today. Hey, Tyler Toffoli, always good for a 30-goal season, even when he misses sometimes. Gets his 30th of the season's assist to Carlson and Gregor. Just the Flames defense getting hemmed into their own zone, and gotta say, tough day for Rasmus Andersson today. And I don't want to beat up on Rasmus too much, because I think there are some people online that are friends of mine that have kind of beaten him up a little bit, but yikes. Plus minus is a garbage stat unless you are an extreme outlier on either end. And when Rasmus Andersson is a minus 38 on a team that has only had a handful of guys be below minus 20 in its history, it's a bit of a yikes for me, folks. Like, I love the guy, and I've gone to bat for him a few times on this channel, but can't do it when I'm looking at those underlying numbers. Especially when he watches a puck go behind the net and half-heartedly skate back to the front of the net afterwards. Tough look for number 4 in the red, yellow, and white on that one. And as I said, the Flames really were getting outplayed by San Jose in the first period, but I say that and the Flames actually come out ahead. Good job on the first goal. Holding the puck in was Joel Hanley. And then a nifty give-and-go play with Mackenzie Weegar coming off the bench. Drop pass from, you guessed it, Adam Klapka. One of the hottest Flames gets the primary assist. Only his third on the season. And Weegs with an absolute laser. Goes top shelf where Mama hides the peanut butter. If you're watching Top Chef Canada. go give it a watch on City TV if you get all those ads. Anyways, but what a shot from Weegar. What a setup. And as I said, good effort from Joel Hanley. He got on his horse to keep that puck in when Rasmus Andersson had gone off on what I thought was a little bit of a suspect change. But Flames tie it at 1 apiece. And then speak of Adam Klapka, he gets another one. Good play by the Flames, just speeding out of their zone, and what an individual effort from number 91, Nazem Kadri. Makes a beautiful play at the blue line, power move to the outside, and just a great pass, puts it right on the tape for Adam Klapka. Just tuck it in behind the young Sharks goaltender, Romanov. And again, we see Romanov, not seeing Alex Georgiev. Interesting. But Huberdeau gets the secondary assist, and we'll talk about Huberdeau a little bit later because he's someone I wanted to kind of hone in on the second period. But good to see Adam Klapka, the expected play driver of that first line, right? He's the one making $10 million a night, or a season, rather. Yeah. But anyways, Flames exit the first period 2-1. And I say that as the team that kind of trailed behind. Took about 5 minutes for the Flames to get their first shot of the day, and as I said, at the 15-minute mark, the Sharks were leading the Flames 13 shots to 3. So the Flames definitely started slow, as they have so many times this season. I don't know why I'm surprised anymore. But you think in a team that needs to effectively win out to keep their chances of the playoffs alive, you would have liked to see a little bit more get up and go to start this one. And then Jan Ruda scores as the Flames once again get trapped in their own zone, and it was an unfortunate shift there for Blake Coleman as his stick shatters in 2 pieces, allowing the Sharks to keep zone time. But it cycles down to Toffoli, to Eklund, to Jan Ruda, and in behind Dustin Wolf. Unlucky from Coleman, but goodness gracious. Again was Rasmus Andersson just in the middle of nowhere. I understand he had to cover 2 guys because Toffoli isn't effectively a player. But it was, as I said, rough night for Rasmus tonight. I'm not going to hammer him anymore. Because, as I said, you're an NHL player. You play 82 games a season if you're healthy for all of it. And you're bound to have 1 or 2 stinkers. But, again, think he ended the night minus 38. That's when plus minus actually begins to matter as a stat. But the Flames really put the pedal to the metal in the third period. A great passing play from the Flames as Sharangovich bats the bouncing puck to Morgan Frost. Frost drops it back to him. Sharangovich makes no mistake, taking the shot that we saw him take last year when he was a 30-goal scorer for the Flames. And Morgan Frost, I know a lot of these assists didn't come as a Calgary Flame, but it's his 23rd assist of the year. And they're giving Braden Pahal an assist for a bouncing puck. So, you know what? I think Pahal will take the secondary assist, and Igor will take starting the momentum off in the third period for your Calgary Flames. And then another guy who has one of the best shots in, if not on this Flames roster, potentially in the NHL. You saw he takes his first shot, it goes blocked off the leg, doesn't give up on the play, finds that soft spot like he's learning to do in the NHL, and just wires it past Romanov. Flames up 2. We do have to mention, in between those 2 goals, this could have been a different game if not for Dustin Wolf. I totally forgot to put this in my notes that I'm reading off of. But in between that 3-2 and 4-2 goal, the Sharks nearly tie it. They clear it in off of the stanchion behind the Flames net, and it bounces right out onto the stick of Tyler Toffoli, but luckily, Dustin Wolf knows those Flames boards, didn't fully commit to his left-hand post, manages to push out, and I don't think Toff got the shot he wanted on that. But boy, oh boy, did the Flames goaltender stand tall. All 5'10" of him, if you believe that's what the stat actually is and how tall he actually is, got in front of that puck and kept this Flames team momentum going. Led to the Coronado, well, it didn't directly lead to the Coronado goal, but allowed the Flames to maintain where they were to get to that point. Flames then play 17 minutes, keeping the Sharks off the scoreboard. And if Yegor Sharangovich wasn't happy being at 100 goals, only becoming the third Belarusian player to do so with his first goal of the period, the empty netter puts him at 101. I'm not talking about Dalmatians, I'm talking about goals. The empty netter assists to Rasmus Andersson. So I can't remember if empty net goals count your plus minus because it's such a weird stat. But Yegor Sharangovich, 2 goals on the evening, gets him to 17, gets the Flames a big 2 points in their push for the playoffs. As I mentioned, good to see Yegor Sharangovich, 100 goals on his career. As I said, only the third Belarusian-born player to do such. Joins Mikhail Grabovski, who has 125, and he's only 2 goals behind Andrei Kostitsyn. You have to think he'll pass that mark. Probably, if the Flames make the playoffs, he might have to get to that number. Good to see him finally get off the schneid he's kind of been on up until recently and get himself back into the good graces. But the question is, for everyone who's in chat, shout out to Matt C. and Dr. KQ, Johnny Goudreau Forever. What Lego set is Yegor Sharangovich buying himself for his 100th NHL goal? Maybe we'll have to do that as overtime. We'll go on the Lego website and see what kind of shark-themed Lego sets might be out there. Or maybe someone has to get on one of those custom ones where it's just, you get a great white shark that you can custom build with all the pieces. Maybe that's what the Flames Nation Flames fans need to do. So, with that said, the Flames get that so-important 2 points to put them to 92 points on the season. This puts them only 2 points behind the Blues, who now only have 1 game to play. I know I kind of said that there was only 1 more game for them last time, and I forgot that they were playing a back-to-back. So, and the Flames have 2 to go. Obviously, they should be at 81 if the Flames didn't have to reschedule that game in Los Angeles due to the Los Angeles wildfires. So, that's where we stand after the 60 minutes of Flames hockey. Now, it's not all sunshine, because I got some things to say about the Flames, but we'll do that in period number 2 as I put us back into the correct period. Because I forgot to do that. Wouldn't be a Conrad stream without a little bit of technical difficulties, right? But before we do that, let's do the read. Looking for ways to help an upstart media company employing over 30 young journalists, analysts, and broadcasters from all across Canada? If you have a few spare bucks kicking around, you can head on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/thegameovernetwork. There you'll find a couple tiers featuring different rewards and goodies for helping this company grow. There's extra access, exclusive looks behind the scene, Discord's benefit, merch discounts, and opportunities to give us feedback. And hey, if the Flames make the playoffs, maybe we'll start doing some live watch-alongs. For those of us who don't get to be in the Saddle Dome, fingers crossed that the Flames make it. I get to go to Game 1. Fingers crossed. But anyways, there's extra access, exclusive looks behind the scene, Discord benefits, merch discounts, and opportunities to give us feedback. And you can also interact with us. I know we got a couple of people in the Discord who had discussions about where this season's going. But if you're not able to spare a few dollars, we totally understand. The world's gone to shit. But we do have a free tier available so you don't miss out. If you really want to help us and you don't want to do so with fiscal responsibilities associated, just go hit like, hit subscribe, hit share on your favorite social media. And hey, share us out as a podcast. Get people listening on Apple or on Spotify. And hey, give us a like and a 5-star review or a nice comment. Help us battle that algorithm. But if you want to help us on Patreon, that's patreon.com/the Game Over Network for that and more. Alex, thanks for joining us. Vegas Kings, it's impossible. With that attitude it is, but I think these Findaway Flames are proving that they can do the impossible. It might just cost us a few hearts, strings, and brain cells in the process. But thanks for joining in, and Toke number 1 saying that Sharky needs the new Fast and Furious car. You know, if it was the Evo 7 from the first movie, I might agree, but it's not so. But anyways, as I said, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Obviously, the Flames have a tough road over the next 2 games. But I still believe that it is possible for this Flames team to advance. But to do that, they're going to need a better performance from one of their top guys. I mentioned him earlier. He had an assist in today's game, but has not found his way into the goal column other than one that bounced in off his pants. And that's Jonathan Huberdeau. This is a player that we've been really praising for transitioning his game to being a power forward. Obviously, Kelly Rudy kind of started that sort of mental shift from the fan base. But while Adam Klapka and Nazem Kadri have been driving that top line, Jonathan Huberdeau has been the ultimate passenger. He is not driving play the way he did when he was away from Nazem Kadri and he was playing with Morgan Frost and whoever. Was it Zari on the wing there? No, Zari was with the Kadri and the kids line. But it's not really where you want a guy that's making $10+ million to appear. And this is not saying that he's had a bad year. He's had a 30-goal year that is on the quiet side for vast stretches. And when you're being paid what Jonathan Huberdeau is paid, you can't afford to be a streaky player. You need to be an everyday contributor at an elite to high level. And there have been stretches this year where Jonathan Huberdeau has been the best player on the Flames. But those days are not often enough for my liking. And it hasn't happened when the games have mattered yet. I remember back in the run with the 3M or with the Purple Gatorade line, where people said that about Matthew Tkachuk, where he didn't show up when the games mattered, and I'm starting to worry we're seeing similar from the man who wears number 10 for the Flames. And I just saw Toke number 1's comment here that Huberdeau needs weapons. He's playing on the best line on this team. He has the best other forward on this roster playing with him in Nazem Kadri. And a player that's hotter than hot in Adam Klapka. But he's a passenger. He's not a contributor. He was playing better when he had Morgan Frost. And hey, we brought in Mantha, and he wasn't a great player with Anthony Mantha on his wing either. But to win these next 2 games that people in chat are saying are impossible, I'm not going to say that. But it's just not been where it needs to be. for a guy that's making that much money and has shown us that he can be so much more this season. But we will head into our third period here, folks. I'm not going to try and keep you too long. It's a Sunday. We got other things to do. Got to get ready for Easter weekend next weekend and get ready to watch some important hockey games over the next week. And I could hammer on Rasmus Anderson here a little bit. Like, as I said, can't be minus 37 on a team where goals are hard to come by. And 2-1 wins need to happen more often than these 5-2 wins. But the Flames are 100% 15. I think it's 15-0 now when the Flames score more than 4. I think that was the stat that I saw. Let me just do a quick double check. I thought we lost one where we had scored more than 5 this year. Or more than 4. No, 16-0-0 when scoring 4+ goals. So, hey, maybe we just don't need to play as tight defense. And we just need to focus on scoring more. And maybe that means we need to play these Zane Parekh. And maybe it's Dryden Hunt. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I just talk into a camera for a living. But we need to improve if we want to have a shot at these last 2 games. And we need St. Louis to not get a single point. But hey, positives. Let's think happy thoughts. Let's continue to be positive until the Flames play again on Tuesday. Well, let's head into period number 3. If you're enjoying the show so far, you probably want more of this programming, correct? Well, make sure to hit the like button on this video, click subscribe on the channel, and make sure you check the notification bell so you're alerted when we do go live. If you're listening in podcast form, please give us a 5-star rating or write a positive review. If you really like us, make sure to follow us on your favorite social media. You can find the Game Over Network on Blue Sky at thegameovernetwork.com, on TikTok and Twitter at GameOverNHL, on Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn at Game Over Network. I'm only on Blue Sky. You can find me on Conrad Krausert.bluesky.social. I've also got a TikTok, but you have to work and find that one. I'm not going to give you that link for free. And hey, if you want to find out more about the network, you can always check out our website, thegameovernetwork.com, where you can sign up to keep getting the notifications flowing and find out more about us as a network. Help us grow. All right, third period has been so important to the Flames. And oh my goodness, I put this out on my Blue Sky, but I think if you had said, even before the Four Nations face-off, that Adam Klapka would be as important to this team as he has been, I think people would have stared at you like you had 3 heads, and not like you were wearing a Cavalry FC hat on a Calgary Flames post-game show. But this is a player that I don't think anyone had really expected to fill anything more than a 4th-line role this season. Hey, I don't think many of us figured he would even do that. I think a lot of us figured that's a Wranglers player for 70 games this season. Maybe he'll get a cup of coffee in the NHL and that'll be what it is. But no, playing on the first line and goal and assist today. And let's see if Pat Steinberg did give him one of the 3 stars. Yeah, he got the 2nd star today with a goal and an assist. The 2nd star, Sharon Govich at first. Jonathan Huberdeau with 2 assists gets the 3rd star. Hey, maybe I'm too hard on him. But, like, it's, as we said in the last episode with me and Anand, it's the contributions from the guys who are not as well known. that have really allowed this Flames team to prosper. Whether that's contributions from Klapka, whether that's the physical effort that's been put in by Martin Pospisil, whether that's a guy that hasn't scored a goal but has been ever around the puck like Joel Farabee, whether that's the penalty killing of guys like Kevin Rooney, like, as I said, this Flame has no superstars. We have players that are good. We have Nazem Kadri, very good player. We have Connor Zary, very good player. We have Huberdeau, who is streaky and not good enough, in my opinion, for right now. We have Dustin Wolf, who is a young and evolving star. But we don't have a game breaker. We don't have a guy like they have up in Edmonton. Or a Landeskog when he was healthy for Colorado. We just don't. We don't have a Mark Stone when he's healthy. Like, we don't have one of those guys. Yet. We don't have a Gavin McKenna who scored one of the most ridiculous goals you'll ever see. Go check that out on the WHL's Twitter. If you're still on there, or it's on Blue Sky as well. Go check that out. There's a reason I want this team to tank next year. But anyways. We have a lot of guys who play with heart and soul. And as a lot of people in various different media outlets have said, it's very emblematic of this city. Where it's a perceived, you get what you put into the, you get out what you put in terms of effort. And it's really brought in buy-in from the fan base, by and large. So I have to say that's been one of the positives of watching this team over the season. It's been watching the evolution of those guys. It's been watching Connor Zary battle back from a knee injury, and I'm hearing whispers that he'll be ready for Game 1 if the Flames make it. It's watching guys like Matt Coronado have their bounce back and rise to prominence. This is, no matter how frustrating a team we all feel this Flames roster is, it's been fun. Incredibly stressful. Especially when the Flames fans don't read the darn sign and start doing the wave way too early, or at all. It's been fun. And it's been really fun bringing you all together around this team this season. And I hope there's more. As you guys say, it's an impossible road. I don't believe that. Will I maybe have a different belief or feeling after this game against Vegas? It's possible. But for now, the hope is alive. And I hope that all of you out there in the internet land can feel it too. And hopefully, you aren't doing the wave at home when we're down in Vegas and Los Angeles. And also remember, only got another 2 seasons at the Dome. So hopefully, if this is truly the last year of the Flames competing, if they do choose to go to the tank route next year, hopefully we can give this old barn one last hurrah as the Flames push their way into the playoffs. But with that, we'll head into overtime. If you've got any questions, comments, concerns, now is the time to bring those up. But before we do that, let's head on over to the merch tab. What better way to support something you love than by rocking his clothing? Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique designs. Whether you feel the nostalgic pull of our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, want to wear your love for goalies proudly with our live and die by the goalie design, or if you want just another coffee mug to get you through yet another April snowstorm? Like, hello? Why? But anyways, we have you covered. Designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream now. Take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. And I don't know if you guys watched the TikTok or Instagram, whatever short form media you use. I think it was a YouTube short even on the main channel, but we may have some merch coming about how we have better footage of Bigfoot. The way we do goals coming out from my crash out a few weeks ago. So keep your eyes open to our merch shop. Got some fun stuff coming there. But overtime. Flames can't afford overtime. Just some questions here. I know the new Fast and Furious car. You know what? I'm going to go to new Lego releases and see what's come out, what we could reward Igor Sharangovich with. I know they just came out with like the mini Lego Speeds that are the F1 cars. I got 3 of those for my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Sam. It's your birthday today. I know you never watch these, but I got to give a shout out to my younger brother on his birthday. Maybe he gets like, he seems to do like a lot of the bigger sets. So maybe he does that dinosaur fossil, the T-Rex. Kind of appropriate. You live in Calgary near Drumheller. Maybe that's the one he has to go with. Oh, and we know he's a big Star Wars guy too. They've got the AT-AT driver helmet. That's a small set though. That's only 730 pieces. For Igor Sharangovich scoring his 100th career goal, maybe he's got to go with that 3,000 piece T-Rex. That's what I'm going with if I had to choose. I know it's not really shark themed, but it's kind of the closest I can see in their new releases. Maybe I'm going to go get myself hey. But anyways. Vegas and the Kings, it's impossible. I think the Kings game will be a little bit more closely contested. So I don't think the Kings will scratch any of their players as they're still trying to battle for home ice advantage over the Oilers. Let's look at the standings there. Because, yeah, the Kings are at 101 points. Oilers are at 99. The Kings obviously still have 3 games left in their schedule. I think that's including one that's still ongoing right now. Oh, I thought they played today. My brain's off. I went to the Pet Fest at Spruce Meadows. That's my excuse. But they do have that head-to-head against the Oilers tomorrow, so hopefully they can win that one. Win the 4-point game. Then they can rest some of their bodies against us for the final game. Maybe that's the hope. And of course, obviously, control not fully in the Flames' hand. The Wild need to lose their last game. So I think we can... No, I don't think we can catch the Wild anymore. My brain's correct. They've got the Ducks, which... Hey! The Ducks are a feisty team. The Flames saw that. And St. Louis... They have Utah, who have nothing to play for but playing spoiler in their first year in the NHL. So who knows? Unlikely but far from impossible. Matt C., I agree with that. If the Blues lose in regulation, does bring the points needed to only 3, which would allow us to go to a shootout, overtime, lose. But I would rather us get the full 4 and let the other cards lay where they lie. So I do think technically the Flames are the last team playing. We will know the result of the Utah Blues game on Tuesday, the 15th, before the Flames play against Los Angeles on the final day of the NHL season. But I think that's it for today. I will be bringing you the Sharks game. Or wait, no, that's today. I'm doing the Sharks game. It'll be Anand doing the game against the Vegas Golden Knights on Tuesday. And then we're going to try and do this if we can convince Matt to get away from the WHL playoff desk. We're going to try and get all 3 of your regular hosts, myself, Matt, and Anand, for the final against the Los Angeles Kings. Reminder, that game on the 17th is a 7:30 p.m. puck drop. But on Tuesday, 7 o'clock, the Flames go ahead. And actually, do they host Vegas? No. They are visiting the Vegas. Or no, it is home against the Vegas Golden Knights. It's been a long day, folks. With that, thank you so much for tuning in today for Game Over Calgary. We will see you again on Tuesday.